So this first week is all about important concepts, right? Another important concept is the concept of immersion. And this concept is very often confused by many people with the concept of presence. But those are two very clearly different things. So immersion really refers to the technical capability of a system, for instance, a VR system, to deliver a surrounding and convincing environment with which the participant, the user, can interact. And what's important here is that it relates to the technical capability of a system. It basically has nothing to do with the user. So in that sense, it's an objective measure of a system. So you can, for instance, think about the quality of a graphics card that is used to render, to show a virtual environment. You can think of a term that is called often field of view. So how much a user that's wearing the headset can actually see of a virtual world surrounding them. So those are all things that you can sort of measure even without a user present. So it's very objective. You can just look at the specs of a certain system, and that will give you the degree of immersion that that system offers a potential user. It's very important here. This is something objective. You can measure it by looking at the system. You don't have to look at the user. And it's really a technical capability. Immersion, of course, etymologically, linguistically relates to being immersed, right? And people often say that they are immersed in a certain environment, or they can even be immersed in a novel. That's perfectly okay to use those words in that way, but keep in mind that immersion really has to do something with objective qualities. Presence, on the other hand, really relates to more subjective qualities. So the same technical system that has exactly the same degree of immersion can lead to different degrees of presence in different users, which tells you that immersion is something objective that you can measure objectively by looking at the system, whereas presence is something that you measure subjectively in the user based on the experience that that user, that participant has.